Is it, wait, is that, oh, hold on. Is it a cave painting of Tigger and a woozle? So like ancient man had stuffed tigers.
No, but
and then
the stuffed tigers came before man.
Oh, okay. And then like the humblebees on the cave, on the rock up front in the foreground.
Yep. We are the Maiar of this universe.
God, you really have been reading too much of the Silmarillion.
Much like Gandalf or Melian. We came before.
Who's Melian?
The first man or the first elf.
This is the kind of stuff that even people who like Lord of the Rings don't know.
Ingwe, Finwë, and Olwe, and Elwë.
You've reached whole new levels of Lord of the Rings nerddom.
I love Lord of the Rings.
I know you do. So it's fine that you're that.
It's my favorite fictional universe, hands down.
Mine's the culture.
Yeah, the culture of the Lord of the Rings is pretty good too.
But would you want to live in it?
If I were an elf, hell yeah. Immortality.
Caveat.
Yeah.
As an elf, yes.
And an elf, not a Noldorian.
Oh, of course, not an Noldorian.
Who follows Feanor to the fate of Mandos. Come on, I don't sound nearly as nerdy as you did last night. I was doing some editing last night while he was playing some nerdy Stellaris game.
Yeah.
And he just like name it, like 15 out of like an 18-word sentence is just like fucking gibberish. Yeah, we're going to the Gorglax, the Steppe of Norians, and we're gonna go fuck shit out.
We have to fight the Gargaxton arbitrators who are with the Othethi League.
Yeah, I'm just like, if you can never ever criticize me on being a nerd after hearing what I heard last night.
The funny thing was, I realized that after I was like, I'm over here, and he's hearing me say all these things, and just hearing how ridiculous it all is.
It just sounded so nerdy. So get off your high horse. At least my fictional universe is beloved by all.
You do have me there. We're in a war with the Borble-Axtons.
Yeah, it just sounds like all gibberish, like something that I would make up off the top of my head.
They should come up with
the Yorgies Morgies.
They should come up with a naming pack like done by Justin Roiland for that game.
Yeah, right.
It'd make it perfect.
The Wingawongas.
The Hutus and the Tootsies. Yeah, you have to ride the turtle, remember?
Fuck that. Rocket jump. I'm like TF2 soldier up in this bitch.
Well, I would pick the culture because there's also immortality in that one.
I still don't know who you're talking about or what.
I mean, I'd recommend that you read it. It definitely fits into that sci-fi that you talked about where you were like annoyed when like they still have squirrels or like cats.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like that kind of trope.
Sort of the old thing like Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
it's like what the hell is a falcon?
Yeah. How do they know what a falcon is despite being...
Why isn't it called like a Millennium Womp Rat?
You're the only person I've ever heard like bring up that question, but it's so
really
right.
I've heard at least like a dozen times in 4chan.
Oh yeah.
Most of my thoughts aren't original, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just
okay.
A bullhorn for
4chan.
For all the basement dwellers in 4chan.
Oh, but the culture, like, they don't do anything like that. There's no like just simple cats. There's no ferrets. It's always like this furry quadruped that has this or does that, and it's not just like a carryover of something that's like a ferret. It's just something completely different. You're having a tough time here.
There's like a long section of hard platforming with absolutely no checkpoints. I think what I have to do is I have to go up onto this platform and then launch sideways because I'm just not making that jump properly.
Certainly it seems that way. Either that or you're just not far enough right. And then you get impatient with the turtle and rocket jump.
I know. That's always what happens with me in platforming is, like, I get super impatient after I failed a section more than, like, 2 or 3 times and try and go through it as fast as possible, and then I end up fucking up the parts that should be easy.
No, you're supposed to rocket jump there.
Alright. Well, I think I should rocket jump from here.
Nope.
I don't think I'm going to be able to make it from the left ledge. This is the most we've talked about the game in, like, the entire fucking Let's Play.
I think you're just supposed to normal jump. I don't think you're supposed to rocket jump there. That bird is going to cause you
Just like you don't tell a bird how to fly, you don't tell me how to rocket jump.
Oh, God. But the Culture series has, like, everybody is gorgeous and beautiful. People live to about 400 years if they want to live that long, or longer if they want.
If everyone's perfect, how do they make distinctions based for breeding?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, you fall in love with a girl because of her looks, because it sets her apart. That's what I'm saying. Like, so
I guess
would I actually fall in love with a girl for her personality? Nyuk nyuk nyuk.
I guess it's kind of mentioned that some people do look like everybody's beautiful.
Oh, just fucking circle again.
Like everybody's beautiful, but some people are like even more gorgeous. Because I think they kind of make a point in that in one of their books, but she's a. I think it's one of the few problems I had with it. No, it was one of the problems I had with the series is that, like, the author tried too hard to make this one character unlikable.
End up making them the reader like them.
No, I didn't like her, but I refused to not like her because the author wanted me to dislike her.
Well, looks like he did his job then.
That bastard! Touche, sales. I don't know. I just plain didn't like her.
So the author did his job. Or her job.
Damn it. His. He was a Scottish author named Ian M. Banks. How come fish don't swim south for the winter?
If Ulmo had his way. Yeah.
Is this more Lord of the Rings stuff?
No. Silmarillion.
Oh, okay. There's a difference. I hope you heard the duration of my voice.
Really? I heard nothing but pleasantness.
You'd be wrong. Oh, so everybody's gorgeous.
Just fabulous.
People pretty much do anything and everything that they want to do.
I think I got all the honeypots in this level.
Well done. I'd say you'd collected enough honeypots.
It's gonna be one fucking dank party.
It's like
people taking like pot rips.
It's like ultimate libertarianism. Is that pretty much anybody and everybody can do what they want when they want to?
Rape.
No, you couldn't rape anybody.
Then that's not libertarianism.
The thing is, though, is that, like, sex is pretty much so readily available.
Wow, look at that C.S. Lewis reference.
It's that, like, sex is so commonplace, you wouldn't need to rape anybody? And I guess if you really wanted to, you could just do a simulation in which you raped people. But
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Rape is a power fantasy. You want to dominate someone who exists.
Well, there you go. It's a power fantasy. Well, I mean, they might exist. Like, it would be like a MMO. So there might be people who go on.
It's not the same. It's like letting a murderer like play video games to get his murder lust out.
Say it was like so incredibly realistic they couldn't tell if it was a simulation or not.
Well, obviously they would after they took off whatever apparatus it was in order to induce the simulation.
Like
checkmate.
Within that universe, like, people do, like, there is murder, but it's so rare, and like the punishment for it is that you just have a robot who just follows you around for the rest of your life.
It's like such a boring world. So idyllic.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I can understand why you'd want to live there. I just,
right.
Just like nothing interesting would happen. I feel.
Well, that's the caveat is like, what like the universe itself is very interesting, but almost all of like the stories take place of their interactions dealing with other societies.
Those elephants look like they belong in a completely different
Yeah, they don't
universe.
fit in.
That art style looks like Dr. Seuss or something.
Yeah, almost all the stories deal with their interactions with other societies or groups besides the culture, because there's almost no...
Like the raping culture of New Guinea.
Sure. Because there's almost no internal problems within the setting. This doesn't fit in with like the universe at all. Like, I don't remember any of the cartoons.
You don't remember Winnie Pooh going to the crystal caverns?
No.
Manufacturing crystal meth there to sell to the rest of 100 Acre.
Just Christopher Robin having 6 teeth left.
Going on 48-hour work binges. Killing his employer.
Now you can do it. There wasn't...
I see through the lies of the arrows.
It was a trick, damn it. It was all a ruse.
You're trying to trick me, arrow. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a roof up there, as I expected.
Oh, you're so smart. Why don't you take any of that intelligence and just go home?
Okay. Bats.
It's a gold bat.
In a crystal cave? They couldn't see my face, sadly. Woohoo! I mean, that sounds like Jim Cummings, but I don't think like the old stuff from the 50s or 60s or whenever that fucking animation was.
No, yeah, I doubt he's that old. He'd be, what, like almost 100 now?
Well, if he was 30 in the 50s, yeah, you'd be right. Good job on that fast math.
See, I don't need to take my intelligence and go home because I'm already home.
I wish we had a studio.
Why?
I don't know, it'd just be nice to have a studio.
It'd be nice to have lots of things. I'd like to have a harem of beautiful women. But, you know, just like, I'd like to be able to knock up women and have like absolutely no consequences because that's how I get off. But, you know, sadly,
Impregnating women?
I got an impregnation fetish. What I gotta say, you know, it's it got to be a pretty common one, considering like the whole point of sex is procreation.
I don't know if that's a fetish. I think that's just a desire.
Exactly, right? Like is it saying like a fetish that I want to put my penis inside a girl? It's like just a fetish that I want her to not be on any birth control, and I skeet inside her, and then I take absolutely no responsibility, no thought or consideration into the matter, and I just flee like so many of my ancestors have before.
You were born the wrong color, my friend.
I was not gonna steep that low.
I will.
We'll have to cut that section out, Bob.
What? It's implied. It's not. I'm not outright saying anything wrong. You just have to, the thoughts have to be in your head for you to understand that, huh?
It's because they've been already supplanted by years of segregation and
So who's the racist, huh? I'm just saying anything you have.
I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. That black people are totally irresponsible with all their children.
Hey, I didn't say black people.
You're right. Indians. Yeah. No, we all know.
Exactly. The racism has to be in the zeitgeist for that.
Almost all racism is planted somewhat in reality, or else it wouldn't make any fucking sense. It'd be like saying like, oh yeah, I really hate all of those Native Americans. No, they really
like marshmallows.
They really like marshmallows. They eat all the they keep eating all my pillows. It's just like people just think you're a fucking madman. Like, yeah, they're rooted in stereotypes, and the stereotypes have some validity to them, or else they wouldn't make any fucking sense. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that it's not racist.
Oh, no. I agree that what I was saying was racist. But for it to be understood by the audience, they have to have those racist thoughts to connect the dots on it. To me, those are the clever kind of racist jokes. Is that it's...
No, because people still... people still are going to have those thoughts regardless because of the amount of times they've been said in pop culture.
Pop culture of racism osmosis.
Yeah, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, they've made all those jokes, and they're allowed to make those jokes because they're of the same skin color. If you want to make jokes about white people, which we do quite a bit as well.
That's racist.
I take umbrage.
Saying I can't make a joke because of the color of my skin.
I know. It's stupid, and if we were truly trying to become an equal world full of egalitarianism, then yes, we should all be able to make fun of each other equally.
Right.
But too many hurts in the past, I think. Too many people enslaving other people.
Just because my family did it.
I want my money back.